Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. So today we're going to try to crack the code of outreach. You know, that thing that can totally make or break your business growth, but sometimes it feels like a total mystery. So get ready for some really surprising insights. Because we're diving deep into how to make outreach not just effective, but dare I say, enjoyable.
Yeah, it's interesting how many people just think that business development and sales are like the same thing, and they see it as this pushy, aggressive process.
Totally. I used to think it was all about closing deals no matter what.
Yeah.
But, getting ready for this deep dive, I realized there's like a whole strategic art to it. And it's way more fascinating than, just hitting that quota.
Yeah, it's like the difference between, just casting a fishing line
Hmm.
and really understanding like the currents, the bait, the behavior of the fish you're trying to attract. Business development is about creating the right conditions so that those opportunities can appear in the first place.
Okay, so less about hard selling and more about being like the ultimate matchmaker for your business and the right clients. I like that. So what kind of skills does someone actually need to be like a business development whiz?
Well, you need a blend of analytical thinking and genuine people skills. Being able to analyze market trend spot opportunities and understand financial data is crucial.
But that's the strategic thinking side of things.
Right.
Being able to see the big picture and plan accordingly.
Exactly. But you also need those softer skills, communication, active listening, the ability to build rapport, and to present your ideas in a way that connects.
So it's kind of like being a detective and a diplomat at the same time, uncovering opportunities and then building those really crucial relationships.
That's a perfect analogy. And let's not forget adaptability. The business world is constantly evolving. So being able to adjust your approach, learn new skills, and stay open to different perspectives is key.
Yeah, that makes me think about how valuable mentorship can be in this field. Like having someone with experience to guide you through those twists and turns. Share their wisdom and help you avoid those common pitfalls.
Couldn't agree more. Seeking out mentors and actively seeking feedback from, seasoned professionals can be a game changer. They've already navigated those waters and can provide invaluable insights to, accelerate your growth.
It's like having a shortcut to wisdom without having to make all the mistakes yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this strategic foundation. We've got the skills that are needed. But the world's gone digital. So how does that actually impact outreach?
That's where things get really interesting. Your online presence is often the first impression you make on potential clients or partners. It's your chance to showcase your expertise and build trust before you even say a word.
Yeah, it's like your digital storefront is always open for business. But it's not just about having a website right. It's about actively using social media, understanding your audience's digital behavior, and using data to refine your approach.
You're exactly right. There's a wealth of tools that are available to analyze website traffic, track social media engagement, and understand who your audience is and what they care about.
Yeah, that data can be pure gold for shaping your outreach in a way that actually resonates. Okay, so let's get tactical. What are the steps involved in creating an outreach strategy? Where do we even begin?
Okay, so before you even think about sending a message or making a call, you need to get crystal clear on your goals. What are you trying to achieve with your outreach? Are you aiming to enter a new market, boost customer retention, build brand awareness?
That makes total sense because your approach would be totally different if you're going after, a Fortune 500 company versus nurturing relationships with small business owners, right?
Absolutely. Once you have those goals locked in, you can tailor your outreach methods accordingly. Is email marketing the best route, or do you need a more targeted approach like cold calling or LinkedIn outreach?
Speaking of cold outreach, I have to admit, I used to think it was a bit outdated. But digging into the research for this deep dive, it seems like it's still a powerful tool when done strategically.
It's all about moving away from those generic mass blast messages. Instead, you want to personalize your outreach, show that you've done your homework, and genuinely understand the prospect's needs and challenges.
So it's about demonstrating value right from the start, not just hitting them with a sales pitch. And I'm guessing offering something valuable up front, like a free consultation or a helpful resource, can make a huge difference.
That's a great point. Providing value up front builds trust and positions you as a helpful resource, rather than someone just trying to make a sale.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how each piece of the outreach puzzle fits together. But all this talk about crafting the perfect message and targeting the right audience. It makes me realize how overwhelming it can be to actually put it all into practice.
It can definitely feel daunting, especially when you're starting from scratch. But luckily, there are great resources out there to guide you.
That reminds me of the Aspiration marketing blog at blog.aspiration.marketing. They have a ton of articles that break down complex outreach concepts in a way that's easy to understand and apply.
That's a fantastic resource. And of course, once you've made that initial contact, the real work begins with the follow-up. That's where those relationships are truly built and nurtured.
I've heard it said that follow-ups are where deals are won or lost. But it's easy to let them slip through the cracks when you're juggling a million other things.
It's true. But the truth is, most people give up way too soon. Persistence is key in outreach. You need to stay top of mind without being pushy, providing value in each interaction.
So what's the secret to crafting a follow-up that actually gets a response? I'm all ears.
It's all about being strategic and understanding the psychology behind, effective follow-ups. First and foremost, you always want to set clear next steps at the end of every interaction, whether it's scheduling a call, sending a specific document, or simply agreeing on a time frame for the next touch point. Make sure that both you and the prospect know what to expect.
That seems so simple, but I bet it makes a huge difference in keeping the momentum going.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you need a system for tracking your outreach, ensuring nothing falls through the cracks. A CRM, even a well-organized spreadsheet can be a lifesaver.
Yeah, organization is key. But I think a lot of people get stuck on, what to say in those follow-ups. How do you avoid sounding repetitive or pushy?
Right. It's not about bombarding them with the same message over and over. Think of each follow-up as an opportunity to provide, additional value. Maybe you share a relevant industry article, offer a helpful tip, or simply reiterate, how you can solve their specific problem.
So it's about weaving in those value adds while staying focused on building that relationship. And I imagine varying your methods can help too, like not just relying on email, but maybe mixing in a phone call or connecting on LinkedIn.
Exactly. Trying different channels can increase your chances of getting a response. And don't forget to track your results. Pay attention to which follow-up methods work best for different types of prospects and adjust your approach accordingly.
It all comes back to that adaptability we talked about earlier. Now, shifting gears a bit, we talked about those digital platforms and how crucial they are for making a first impression. But how can we really leverage them to make our outreach more effective, not just visually appealing?
That's a great question. Think about how you can use your online presence to establish thought leadership, sharing valuable insights, industry trends, even your unique perspective can position you as a go-to resource in your field.
So it's not just about promoting your products or services. It's about showing your expertise and providing genuine value to your audience.
Yeah.
Like becoming that trusted advisor.
Yeah.
But in the digital space.
Exactly. And remember, consistency is key. Regularly posting engaging content, participating in, relevant online communities, and interacting with your followers builds trust and keeps you top of mind.
It's like you can't just set it and forget it, right? You need to be actively engaged in that online space to really make it work for your outreach.
Right. Your digital platforms are an extension of your overall business development efforts. They're a way to connect, nurture relationships, and ultimately drive growth.
And all that data you gather from those platforms, the website, traffic, the social media engagement, that can be incredibly valuable for shaping your outreach strategy. Yeah. You can see what content resonates, what questions people are asking, what pain points they're facing.
Exactly. By paying attention to, that online behavior, you can tailor your outreach to be far more relevant and impactful.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. Digital platforms aren't just about aesthetics. They're a gold mine of insights for those who know how to use them strategically.
You got it. And let's not forget the power of storytelling. Facts and figures are important, but people connect with stories. They're more memorable, more engaging.
That makes me think about the importance of testimonials and online reviews. Those are stories in themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Proof that you've delivered results for other clients.
They're incredibly powerful forms of social proof. When potential clients see that others have had positive experiences with your company, it builds trust and credibility.
It's like having a chorus of happy customers vouching for your awesomeness. But I imagine it's not enough to just slap a few testimonials on your website and call it a day.
Yeah.
You need to use them strategically, right?
Absolutely. Tailor your testimonials to your target audience. If you're trying to land a big corporate client, highlight testimonials from other large companies you've worked with. It shows you understand their needs and have a track record of success in their industry.
It's like speaking their language, showing them that you've walked in their shoes.
Exactly. And authenticity is paramount. People can spot a fake testimonial a mile away. Make sure yours are genuine and reflect real experiences with your company.
So quality over quantity. A few heartfelt, authentic testimonials will go a lot further than a dozen generic ones. Now, with all this talk about tactics and strategies, It's easy to forget that business development at its core is about human connection.
You're absolutely right. It's not about tricks or manipulation. It's about building genuine relationships, understanding people's needs, and building trust over time.
Which brings us back to something we discussed earlier, knowing when to walk away. Sometimes a potential client might not be the right fit, even if they seem promising on paper.
It's crucial to trust your gut. If their needs don't align with your offerings, or their values clash with your company culture, it might be better to walk away no matter how tempting the opportunity seems.
It's like decluttering your business relationships, creating space for those that are truly aligned and have the potential to blossom.
That's a great analogy. And remember, even if you do decide to walk away, do so gracefully and professionally. You never know when your paths might cross again.
Good advice. Okay, so we've established that follow-ups are essential, but they can also be a major pain point for a lot of people. So let's break down some strategies for making them less daunting and more effective.
One of the biggest mistakes people make is being afraid to follow up at all. They worry about coming across as pushy or annoying. But the truth is, most people are busy and appreciate a gentle reminder.
So it's about finding that balance between being persistent and being a pest. How do you walk that line?
Firstly, make sure every follow-up provides value. Don't just send a generic checking-in email. Remind them of how you can solve their specific, share a relevant industry article, or offer a helpful tip.
So each touch point is a chance to nurture that relationship and build trust, not just push for a sale.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to vary your methods. Try switching between email, phone calls, LinkedIn messages, even a handwritten note if it feels appropriate.
A handwritten note, wow. That's a classic touch that really stands out in today's digital world.
It can make a big impact. And of course, tracking your follow-ups is essential. Use a CRM system or a simple spreadsheet to keep track of who you've contacted when you last reached out and what the next steps are.
That level of organization seems crucial for managing multiple relationships effectively.
Absolutely. And remember, you don't have to do it all alone. Delegation is a key skill in business development. Identify tasks that can be handled by others on your team and empower them to take ownership.
That makes so much sense. Trying to do everything yourself can lead to burnout and missed opportunities.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the incredible tools that are available to automate tasks, streamline processes, and free up your time.
Like those CRM systems we keep talking about. They seem like such a game changer for organizing and managing your outreach.
They are a must-have.
Yeah.
But there are other tools as well. Email marketing platforms, social media management tools, even AI-powered assistants that can help you research prospects, personalize messages, and track your results.
It's amazing how technology can empower us to be more efficient and effective in our outreach. But I imagine it's all about finding the right balance between automation and personalization.
You're absolutely right. Technology is a tool, not a replacement for human connection. Use it to enhance your outreach, not to replace genuine relationships.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the how-tos of outreach. But let's zoom back out to that bigger picture for a moment. We touched on the importance of understanding your target audience. But I think it's worth diving a little deeper.
I agree. The more you know about your audience, the more effectively you can tailor your outreach to resonate with them.
So we're not just talking about basic demographics here. We need to understand their needs, their motivations, their pain points, even their aspirations. What keeps them up at night? What are their goals?
Exactly. It's about putting yourself in their shoes, seeing the world through their eyes. The more empathy you can bring to your outreach, the more likely you are to connect on a deeper level.
And those deeper connections lead to stronger relationships and ultimately more business opportunities.
Absolutely. But remember, building those relationships takes time and effort. There are no shortcuts. It's about showing up consistently, providing value, and nurturing those connections over the long term.
We talked about the importance of having a clear business development plan. But I'm curious, once you have that plan, how do you actually put it into action and make sure everyone on your team is on the same page?
Communication is key. Make sure everyone on your team understands their role, their responsibilities, and the overall goals of your business development strategy.
So it's not just about having a plan, it's about making sure everyone knows the playbook and how to execute it effectively.
Exactly. Regular team meetings, shared documents, open communication channels, these are all essential for keeping everyone aligned and moving in the same direction.
And I imagine tracking your progress and making adjustments along the way is crucial too.
Absolutely. Business development is a dynamic process. What works today might not work tomorrow. The key is to constantly be learning, adapting, and refining your approach based on your results.
So it's like navigating a ship. You set a course, but you need to be prepared to adjust your sails based on the winds and currents, and sometimes you might need to change course entirely.
That's a great analogy. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try new outreach methods, test different messages, see what resonates with your audience. And remember, sometimes the most valuable lessons come from our failures.
Speaking of learning from failure, I think it's important to acknowledge that outreach can be tough. It's not always going to be smooth sailing. And there will be times when you face rejection or setbacks.
That's true. But how you handle those setbacks is what sets you apart. Don't be afraid to take risks, try new things, and most importantly, learn from your mistakes.
So it's not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it as a stepping stone to success. This has been so insightful. I'm going into my next outreach campaign feeling so much more prepared, not just with tactics, but with a whole new way of thinking about it.
That's fantastic to hear. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are resources out there to help you every step of the way.
Right. We've mentioned the Aspiration Marketing blog at blog.aspiration.marketing a few times now. It's an incredible resource for anyone who wants to learn more about outreach and business development.
It's a treasure trove of information, from beginner tips to advanced strategies.
And for those who are ready to really level up their outreach game, Aspiration Marketing itself at aspiration.marketing is a fantastic option. They specialize in building world-class outreach programs. So it can be a game changer to have their expertise on your side.
Absolutely. Sometimes it makes sense to bring in the experts, especially when it comes to something as important as outreach.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today, but I feel like we barely scratched the surface of this fascinating topic.
You're right. Business development is vast and ever evolving. But hopefully this deep dive has given you some valuable insights and practical tips to start putting into practice right away.
It definitely has. And I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is that business development is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, persistence, and a genuine commitment to building lasting relationships.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about playing the long game, nurturing those connections, and consistently delivering value to, your clients and partners.
So it's about shifting our mindset from those quick wins to, long-term sustainable growth.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There's always more to learn, new strategies to try, and, exciting opportunities to discover along the way.
Well said. I'm feeling inspired and ready to dive into my own outreach efforts with a fresh perspective.
That's fantastic to hear. And remember, the world of business development is constantly evolving. What works today might not work tomorrow. So stay curious, embrace experimentation, and never stop learning.
Great advice. This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. Thanks for sharing your expertise and for guiding us through this complex but crucial topic.
It's been my pleasure. And to our listeners, remember that effective outreach is within your reach. It's about strategy, relationship building, and a genuine desire to connect with others and create value.
I love that. Imagine if you could confidently reach out to anyone, knowing you have something valuable to offer. That's the power of effective outreach.
Yeah, it truly is. And don't forget, if you're feeling overwhelmed or need a helping hand, there are resources that are available, like the Aspiration Marketing blog at blog.aspiration.marketing. And for those who are ready to take their outreach to the next level, Aspiration Marketing at aspiration.marketing can provide the expertise to elevate your efforts to world-class chart.
So dive deep into your own outreach endeavors. And remember, the possibilities are endless when you approach it with the right mindset and a genuine desire to connect. That's it for this deep dive, folks. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.